Before gods, before monsters, before the idea of light, there was only one thing the ancient Greeks feared to describe: a presence older than time, a breath older than creation, a silence so vast the world would one day call it chaos. Hello everyone, I'm Swanali and you're watching Lows and Lashes. Today, while doing my makeup of a Greek goddess, I'm going to share with you two folklores, or rather two Greek mythological folklores. So let's get started. According to the oldest Greek voices, the Bronze Age storytellers, the universe began not with fire, but with a tear in nothingness. Around 1600 BCE, in the Mycenaean world, priests spoke of a void that opened itself, an emptiness without shape, without direction, without end. Chaos was not a person, not a mother, not a father. It was the breath before creation drifting over what would become the cosmos. And then, from this formless abyss, two forces slid out like shadows learning to breathe. Erebus, darkness, and his twin presence, Nyx, the night. This was long before Zeus, long before Olympus, long before fire and prophecy and fate. The world began in blackness. By the time the poet Hesiod wrote Theogony around 700 BCE, chaos was already ancient. Hesiod called it a yawning gap, the dark opening. Chaos was where direction, shape, and sound didn't exist yet. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, so deep you can't hear the bottom. Now remove the cliff, remove the bottom, remove yourself. That was chaos. In Boeotia, Hesiod's homeland, villagers told a strange account. One night, around 720 BCE, shepherds heard a low humming from the ravine called the Mouth of Nothing. The air rippled like heat through the night of freezing. The ground opened slightly, slowly, as if the earth itself inhaled. The sound lasted seconds, but animals avoided the ravine for 3 generations. They said chaos moved beneath us. From chaos drifted Erebus, not a god with a voice, but the presence of perfect darkness. He didn't walk, he didn't speak, he existed. Erebus spread across the newborn universe like a silent smoke, filling the leftover fractures of chaos. He made shadows, he made silence, he made the first place fear could live. Orphic texts from 3rd century BCE call him the one who sleeps without dream. Erebus was said to be the region where dead souls entered before reaching Hades, a place so deep light itself became lost. Then came Nyx, the goddess who terrified even the immortals. She was not a woman of night, she was herself the night. Her veil was set to hold stars she stole from the unborn sky. Her presence silenced everything, not with fear but with inevitability. When she walked, the world paused, and shadows remembered their origin. Nyx lived beyond the underworld, beyond Tartarus, in a realm so deep even gods refused to name it. She is the only being Zeus feared. The mythology gives a moment to prove it. During the Trojan War, Zeus ordered Hypnos, god of sleep and son of Nyx, to put Hera into slumber. Hypnos refused. Zeus threatened to destroy him. Terrified, Hypnos fled into his mother's realm. Zeus followed and then stopped. Even the king of gods would not cross the threshold of night. Homer writes, Zeus feared the anger of Nyx. The only recorded moment, Zeus retreats. When Nyx and Erebus overlapped, creation shifted. From their union, it is said, came Aether, light, Hemera, day. Light was not the opposite of darkness, but its child. Then Nyx alone created forces mortals feared most: death, sleep, dreams, nightmares, the fates, retribution, the furies. Every terror of the quiet hours was her gift. Some incidents, or maybe just stories, come fleeting with the night. Near the Haemus mountains, Orphic cult members returning from a midnight ritual described a terrifying event. Night dropped instantly, not gradually, instantly. Wind froze mid-motion, the world stopped breathing. A tall silhouette appeared, star-flecked, feminine in outline, impossible in shape. They heard a whisper, "The line is cut." At sunrise, one of them had white hair, none could speak. For 2 days, the Orphic priests said, Nyx crossed the living world. Now we come to Eleusis. 900 BCE, Eleusinian priests reported that during one of their rites, a passage beneath the sanctuary filled with pitch black mist. Torches dimmed, voices faded. Participants claimed they felt a vast presence passing through them. They believed it was Erebus, the first darkness walking between realms. Chaos, Nyx, Erebus, the first three shadows of existence. Chaos made the space. Erebus filled it with darkness. Nyx gave the darkness an intention, that was night. Some ancient schools believed these three were the true architects of reality, while Olympian gods were merely children playing in their shadows. Around 2000 to 1500 BCE, long before Greece had kingdoms or temples, the highlands of Arcadia were a place where shepherds spoke of something older than Olympus, Nyx walking the earth. They claimed that on certain nights the sky didn't simply grow dark, it folded downwards like a curtain descending from the heavens. And when it touched the ground, sound itself died. No insects, no wind. Even the sheep froze mid-step, as if the night had wrapped its hands around the world. The elders said that was the Nyx spread her wings fully, passing over Arcadia. Those beneath her shadow reported temporary blindness, eyes opened but nothing but black, as if their vision had been swallowed. The earliest Arcadian tablets marked these nights with a single symbol: the night walked. And every time it happened, the stars above didn't just fade, they vanished, as though they had turned their faces away from their own mother. Moving forward to 1600 to 700 BCE into the caverns of Alopotripa, a place the Mycenaeans believed touched the world of Erebus himself. The people said that deep inside the stone throat of a cave, light could be murdered. Torches didn't flicker out, they simply stopped existing. Flame erased without heat, smoke, or warning. Explorers described a darkness that didn't rest in the air, it pushed back as if it were alive, an entity with weight and intention. One Mycenaean record speaks of 3 men who entered the cave with fresh pine torches. When they crossed the third chamber, all 3 flames extinguished simultaneously, not blown out, smothered. The men staggered forward, unable to tell if their eyes were open or closed, and in that suffocating pitch black silence they reported hearing a slow inhale, as if the cave itself was breathing. They had stepped into the lungs of Erebus, the first darkness. Only one man managed to crawl back out. When asked what he saw inside, he answered, "Nothing." And it was the way he said it, not an absence but a presence, that terrified them. Then it comes, the tale of Hemera, daughter of Nyx, day born from night. Around the primordial age, long before humans kept records, the Greeks believed that Nyx and Hemera passed each other through the gates of Tartarus, one entering as the other left. But there is one recorded omen from the 1100 BCE during the early Dark Age of Greece, an event remembered as the hour without day. At midday, under a clear sky, the sunlight dimmed as though swallowed from above. Fields cooled, birds fell silent, and the Aegean Sea turned a metallic grey. Priests of the early Aeolian tribes insisted that Hemera had failed to emerge from the underworld on time, meaning for one full hour. Nyx ruled both day and night. They believed that if it had lasted longer, time itself would have unraveled, because the world cannot survive the night and day do not pass each other at the gate. The old poets wrote that during that missing hour, shadows moved in directions light could not explain, as if something ancient had stretched across the earth, searching.